Good afternoon and welcome to News Live on Voice of Liberia 104.1 in Monrovia, 89.7 in Margibi, and 90.7 in Bon County. News Live is a 30 minutes of news, views, event, background report, or major analysis from and about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Now let's take our headlines. President Walker declares Tuesday, April 23 as by-election day in Nima and Electoral District Number 1, Grand Juda County. Ministry of Education announces a temporary suspension of classes in Nima and in District Number 1, Grand Juda County. And Sierra Leone organizes a high level of consultative meeting on a proposed prohibition of early child marriage bill. Those were the headlines. Keep in tune for the details of these and other developments. Welcome back and thanks for rejoining us. President Joseph Walker has by proclamation declared Tuesday, April 23, 2024 as by-election day, and it is to be observed as a national holiday only in Nimba County and Electoral District Number 1, Grand Juda County, which are to hold the by-elections. According to a foreign ministry release, the proclamation calls on citizens and foreign residents within Nimba County and Electoral District Number 1, Grand Juda County to respect specifically this national holiday and directs government offices, business houses, private and public institutions of learning and marketplaces in the affected locations to be closed on the day for 6 o'clock anti-meridian to 6 o'clock post-meridian. The proclamation stresses that the government of the Republic of Liberia desires of ensuring the unhindered movement of all eligible voters, granting unto them the opportunity to exercise their constitutional franchise in Nima County and Electoral District Number 1, Grand Juda County, in a peaceful manner on the day of election. 2 vacancies have been created in the legislature, one in the Senate because of Senator Jeremiah Pankun election as vice president following the October 10, 2023 presidential elections, and the other as a result of the death of Representative Ella Medicine Warren from Electoral District Number 1, Grand Juda County. The Liberia National Police says it has deployed over 1,000 of its officers in Nima and Grand Juda counties, according to a release issued by the Deputy Inspector General of Police for Operations, Anthony Nelson Freeman. The 1,000 officers will provide security for the by-elections in the 2 counties. The Deputy Inspector General in the release said the election is one of the pillars of democracy. As such, the performance of the officers in the field will determine whether or not democracy is achieved. Anthony Freeman has at the same time urged the officers to maintain neutrality in the discharge of their duties. Meanwhile, Deputy Inspector Nelson Freeman has warned that if caution is not taken, a single action in the field can either take Liberia backward or plunge the country into chaos. Bon County District 7 representative for the family has described journalism as bedrock of a vibrant democracy. speaking Friday at the second commencement convocation of the Musability School of Professional Journalists in Painesville. The Bond County lawmaker stressed that the practicing of journalism in an undeveloped country like Liberia is a bargain that shines light on the path towards progress. According to Representative Famule, the critical roles played by journalists serve as a vital tool for nation building and the promotion of culture. He meanwhile called on the graduates to remain independent as they go about their respective reportorial duties.
Practice of journalism in undeveloped countries like Liberia is not just an option, it is a necessity. It is the bedrock of vibrant democracy, the beacon that shines lights on the path toward progress, and the catalyst for positive change through a responsible, ethical, and independent press. Liberia can overcome its challenges, showcasing its potential, and create a better future for all its citizens. Journalism plays a pivotal role in shaping societies and in nations where development is hindered. Its significance becomes even more critical. Liberia, a country that has endured years of civil unrest, is now striving to rebuild itself. And in this process, practicing journalism becomes a powerful tool for progress. Let us explore why. Journalism serves as the watchdog of democracy. It holds those in power, like us, accountable and act as the voice of the people. In a country like Liberia, where a history of corruption and mismanagement exists, reporting the truth becomes paramount. An independent press can expose the wrongdoing. She lights on social injustice and push for positive change. Journalism empowers citizens to participate fully in democratic processes and ensure transparent government. The media help to contract misinformation and fake news in an era of rapid technological advancement. False narratives can spread like wildfire, potentially derailing the progress and hindering social cohesion. The practice of responsible journalism ensures that accurate and reliable information reaches the masses, enabling information decision-making and dispelling rumors and falsehood. This is particularly crucial in underdeveloped countries where illiteracy and limited access to education can make people vulnerable to manipulations. Thirdly, journalism aids in nations building and the promotions of culture. Liberia, with its rich heritage and diverse community, can benefit greatly from the work of journalists who amplify local voices and stories that might otherwise go unheard by celebrating cultural identity. Journalists can foster inclusiveness, promote unity, and inspire pride among citizens. They serve as a collective memory of the nation, documenting its triumph, struggle, and aspiration.
For his part, the valedictorian of the class, James Bien, challenged the graduates to remain disciplined and loyal in their discharge of their duties. He then highlighted selflessness as the pathway to success.
This institution has become the bedrock of professional journalists in Liberia, where selfless individuals have devoted their lives to molding the minds of young Liberians who have taken up the challenge to enter the field of journalism. This is an era of sacrifice, as many would rather venture in more profitable areas to get financial benefits and rewards. The MPSPJ has braved the storms to encourage young professionals to engage in the area of journalism. Fellow graduates, let's develop the attitude of discipline, train ourselves to be loyal and patriotic to our country as we have entered another era in our mission. For success in life, the overarching theme is that you must have self-confidence. That is to say, if someone says that they don't like you, tell them I will be fine. That is self-confidence. Self-confidence will cause you to succeed in life. Self-confidence will cause you to walk with your head up high. As we walk out of the walls of this great institution, let us have the mindset that one day some of us will come back here to do our BSc, Masters, and PhDs. This is self-confidence.
The plenary of the House of Representatives has mandated its Committee on Gender and Judiciary to probe Criminal Code B over its recent not guilty verdict brought down in favor of an American missionary, Lucas Richards, who stood trial on allegations of aggravated assault and criminal attempt to commit murder against Jessica Lord. The House's decision was triggered by a communication from Bond County Electoral District 6 Representative Mema Briggs Mensah, in which she told plenary that on April 17, 2024, Liberians realized the shocking truth of an eventment. Representative Mensah further stated in the communication that a young Liberian lady was left vulnerable to the justice system, which her assessment with all the evidence eluded, was found not guilty and acquitted by the judge in Criminal Code B. Meanwhile, the Gender and Judiciary Committees will investigate the matter within the period of 1 week and report findings to the plenary for actions. From Liberia, we cross over to Nigeria. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Nigeria has instituted a further crackdown on currency speculators and cryptocurrency platforms manipulating the naira. Impeachable sources within the commission said the EFCC was not only going after Benko, but every cryptocurrency platform and others involved in the manipulation of the Nigerian foreign exchange market. It so said the EFCC is going after a currency speculators to stabilize Nigerian foes. Here is Voice of Liberia Nigerian correspondent Naomi Kombenda for the rest of the story.
Some very reliable sources have said that Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is not only going after Binance, which is the major cryptocurrency operator in Nigeria, but other cryptocurrency compliances and exchanges. Now, this is helping to stabilize the naira, okay? Now, we asked actually the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission spokesperson who said the commission was doing everything lawful, don't forget that, to ensure the sanity within the country's forex market. Meanwhile, some foreign exchange market analysts have also stated that the dollar rose slightly against the naira between Wednesday and Friday last week due to the interbank moves of a commercial bank. So Binance is centralized a crypto exchange that offers all services that every top-notch crypto exchange should, such as crypto trading, purchase crypto fiat, and also earnings, giving high earnings. And this has caught the attention of many young Nigerians who see it as a fast money-making venture. And so many of them are going into it. And this has helped to destabilize the naira and devalue the naira too. A money analyst has explained that emergency lovers of Binance are back again speculating on P2P applications, which means that every one of them will pay 50 naira until they take the money, the dollar, back to 2,500, which was initial plan, so they can recoup their losses. Now, this is really affecting the naira and defacing. The problem with speculative manipulation is that even if the Central Bank of Nigeria bids dollar to the Bureau the change at a low rate, the parallel speculators rate will lord over the official rate, which will have to force BVT to be selling at their own rate. Now, this is actually affecting the naira, and so experts say that the CBN has to crack down on every speculative application so that could stabilize.
If you are just tuning in, as a reminder, you are listening to News Live on Voice of Liberia, 104.1 in Monrovia, 89.7 in Margibi, and 90.7 in Bond County. Big story we are following this afternoon. President Bouaka declares Tuesday, April 23, as by-election day in Nema County and Electoral District Number 1, Grand Chile County. Ministry of Education announces a temporary suspension of classes in Nimba and in District Number 1, Grand Chile counties. And Sierra Leone organizes a high-level or consultative meeting on a proposed prohibition of early child marriage bill. Welcome back, and thanks for rejoining us. Still in the news, the Ministry of Education has announced a temporary suspension of classes in Nimba and in District Number 1, Grand Chile County. In a release issued by the ministry, the temporary suspension of classes will cover all public, private, and faith-based schools located in Nema County and those operating in District Number 1, Grand Chile County. The ministry stated that the decision is to suspend classes in the two areas is in preparation of the forthcoming by-elections scheduled for April 23, 2024. Additionally, the ministry says the decision is meant to ensure the safety or smooth conduct of the electoral process and that is free from any interruptions. The temporary suspension of academic activities, according to the ministry, will come into effect immediately on Tuesday, April 23, 2024, and it is imperative that all schools within the specialized areas comply with this directive. The ministry has further confirmed that regular academic activities will resume on Wednesday, April 24, 2024, thereby encouraging all voters in Nimba and District Number 1 of Grand Chile County to exercise their constitutional rights to vote during the upcoming elections. The president of the Female Journalists Association of Liberia, Madam Lisa Tenen-Dese, has urged organizational leaders across the country to lead with compassion, humility, and a deep commitment to principles of fairness and inclusiveness. Serving as guest speaker at the OKFM Fan Club induction ceremony held in Monrovia over the weekend, the featured president called on the new leadership to embrace diversity, encourage dialogue, and strive to create a space where every voice is valued and respected. The OK Fan Club is a social club comprising several individuals from different backgrounds, clubbed to the day-to-day activities of one of Liberia's leading radio stations, OKFM, and it shows that many get attracted to the news and other content of the media institution, among others. Madam Day said, a renowned public speaker, media developer, and owner, told the leadership headed by its president, Beno Donor, to collectively work tirelessly to uphold the legacy of OKFM, to ensure that its impacts continue to resonate far and wide across Liberia. She indicated that the fan club has the potential to be a driving force for positive change and growth within the station and beyond, emphasizing the need to harness the power of radio to inform, inspire, and unite the community, making Liberia a better place for all. Reflecting on the role of social group, the featured board said the fan club can inspire and empower the next generation of radio talent, providing opportunities for broadcasters, journalists, and content creators to hone their skills and make their mark on the industry.
We want to recognize, and we must recognize, the power and responsibility that comes with these positions you are about to take today. Your role extends beyond male titles and positions. It embodies a commitment to serving your fellow members and maybe far-reaching the public, nurturing the spirit of community mobilization, and also upholding the true value of transparency and integrity. It is not just a fan base for just yourself, people who surround you, and maybe OKFM. The fan club can cultivate a loyal and dedicated listening base, driving up the ratings and attracting advertisements. In Liberia, media sustainability depends on whatever business strategy an institution can be able to cultivate. If you are a fan base, your motion and your work is to make sure that you grow the institution to sustain the institutions and its workers. Secondly, are serving as advocates for the station. It may not be through political maneuvering, but your way of advocacy will be through spreading the word of OKFM and about OKFM through word of mouth, social media, community outreach, helping the station expand its reach and influence.
Delivering her inaugural address, the president of OKFM Fan Club, Beno Dunner, pledged to uphold the guiding principles of the institution, foster unity, and lead with transparency and accountability in the interests of her colleagues.
My election as president recognizes the vital significance of women participation in leadership roles. Empowering women in leadership does not only foster diversity, but also enhances the overall strength and resilience of a people. As we move this forward in our nation, let us recognize the potential that lies in inclusive leadership, where the voices and views of women contribute to shaping a more equitable and prosperous future for all. And that is why I am projecting a new vision for the face of OKFM. The face of OKFM honor our leadership. We continue to uphold the bylaws and constitution of the club and maintain respect for government authority. Accountability and transparency will be the hallmark of our administration. We want to assure you that nothing will be done in secret without the knowledge of the things. Our work will be transparent and everyone will stand accountable for what they do. Our government will work to promote and expand the things of OKFM by establishing sub-chapters in other areas where the OKFM radio signal is available. To make our fan club more valuable and efficient and up to date with happiness around the world, we will create linkages to network and partner with other institutions, both local and international, that will help promote our work and increase our capacity to function as a club and make impactful contribution to the OKFM radio station.
A high-level consultative meeting has been organized in Sierra Leone on a proposed prohibition of early child marriage bill. Different traditional practices in the country has seen the issue of child being a concern despite having laws protecting children in the country. Well, to know more about this proposed bill and the outcome of the meetings, let's join our Sierra Leonean correspondent, John Whitfield, for more.
This is a bill that seeks to address the issue of early child marriage in Sierra Leone, especially from the traditional front. And so this high consultative meeting was held to see how best they could have exchanges, collaborative efforts, and see how best they could also put strategies to put this proposed bill in place. And so they had high-level people who attended this meeting, and also, most importantly, the First Lady of Sierra Leone, whom we know had championed what we call the Hands Off Our Girls campaign before. And she's so interested in this bill because she believes that one way to reduce the issue of early child marriage is by ensuring that we have proper legislations in place. First of all, we have a law in place, which is the Child Rights Act of 2007. And there is a particular section that speaks to the issue of early child marriage. But what has been the problem is the issue of enforcement. And so from the traditional front, you have parents who give their children to get married who are below the age of 18 years. But the argument they put up is that as long as there is a parental consent, that should be given. So the bill now seeks to ensure that it provides protection when it comes to child rights and also the well-being in the country, and also for children to make their decisions. We all know that below 18 years is not a consent stage, and also to see how best parents could have a better understanding. And also there is what we call the social norm. We found out that when children are married at an early age, they are being isolated, and the stages that they should go through as children, they do not go through it, and it also affects their mental faculty. So these and many other issues the bill seeks to address. And
President Adama Barrow and his Senegalese counterparts, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, vowed to nurture and further strengthen the long-standing existing bilateral relationship between the Gambia and Senegal. The two leaders made the commitment as President Bassirou of Senegal made his second official overseas trip to Banjul on Saturday. The two leaders also reaffirmed their government's commitments collaborate in several development sectors between the two neighboring states. The Gambia and Senegal enjoyed a long-cherished bilateral relationship. The two countries pledged their commitment to cement the happily existing ties. For more on this, let's join Amadou Kante.
Well, I think this is a very significant visit by the Senegalese new president, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, who was recently elected. And I can tell you the Gambians has been anticipating of his visit, and it has been a norm for the Gambia and Senegal. Whenever a new president is elected, the first outing usually would be either if it's for the Gambia, it will be in Senegal, and also if it's for the Senegalese president, it will be in the Gambia. But this time it has been a slight change. The Senegalese president made his first official visit to Mauritania. But interestingly, when he came to Banjul on Saturday, during his discussions with President Barrow, he justified the reason why he opted to go to Mauritania first before Banjul. And what he said was, it's because the Mauritanian president is the current African Union president, and he felt he need to go there first, and then that would indicate that they have visited all African countries. Then, of course, when he returns, he said, of course, it has been done by his predecessors, then he will have to visit the Gambia. So, considering the relationship the two countries have enjoyed for the longest time, it is indeed Gambia and Senegal is more or less one country, but it has been divided by the colonies then, and so that in a sense means that it's a long, standing relationship, really cordial to some extent. Many people will tell you. And the coming of Bassirou Diomaye Faye to the Gambia, yes, many Gambians expect that there would be a slight change in terms of the relationship and maybe projects that the two countries have been engaged into over the years. And remember, President Macky Sall, who is the former president, and President Barrow, of course, had a very, very good relationship. But to some extent, many Gambians were not really in for it because they felt Senegal had more interest than the Gambia in this relationship. But they were hoping that when a change happened in Senegal, President Barrow would have that opportunity to say that, we need to review some of the agreements and see how Gambia could also benefit. Yes, maybe there would be a slight change, if not many, after his visit to.
Well, on that note, just as I will come to an end of News Live on Voice of Liberia, 104.1 in Monrovia, 89.7 in Margibi, and 90.7 in Bon County. Peace stories we've been following this afternoon. President Bouaka declares Tuesday, April 23 as by-election day in Nima County and electoral district number 1 in Grand County. Ministry of Education announces a temporary suspension of classes in Nima and in District Number 1 Grand Chile counties. And Sierra Leone organizes a high level of consultative meeting on a proposed prohibition of early child marriage bill. For more news, log on to www.voiceofliberiaonline.com or follow us on Facebook with keywords Voice of Liberia. Daniel Selly sat at controls and brought the sound. I have been Lorena Cole. I presented. Thanks for listening.